we're going to open this debate up first with Congress versus BJP and Maroof Raja joining us and GD Bakshi. So we're going to discuss this issue within our guests from India. And then later, after 9:30 p.m., we'll invite our guests from Pakistan. As far as the whole decision, after all, of calling Nawaz Sharif to India, it's an internal decision. So before we talk about whether Mr. Sharif should come, let's talk internally. Chandan, Mitra, thank you very much. Representing the BJP, Member of Parliament, Editor-in-Chief of the Pioneer, Salman So's Congress spokesperson, General GD Bakshi, Defence Analyst, and Times Now's Consulting Editor and Strategic Affairs Expert, Maroof Raza. Thank you very much, Maroof, General Bakshi. Now, you know, Salman So's, first of all, carping is very bad. It's a bad habit. You keep carping. Oh, they've done this wrong. Oh, they've done that wrong. They've not been sworn in. And after years of candy floss diplomacy, meaningless pro-Pakistan diplomacy, which ended in absolutely nothing worthwhile, when all that was achieved was that Manmohan Singh on repeated occasions kept embarrassing himself and the nation. Today, Salman So's, the Congress party begins to ask questions over the invitation to Nawaz Sharif. Please explain why at the start. Why are you carping?
Well, first I take exception to your criticism of the Prime Minister. I think what he did during the UPA's time was to build on Mr. Vajpayee had done during his time. And it's a responsibility that any government in India has to look out for its national interest and to build bridges with other countries, especially our neighbors, including Pakistan. And in that context, in an earlier show, I did say that the PM designate, Mr. Modi, if he invites SARC leaders, including Mr. Nawaz Sharif, that's a good thing. They should you let talks and terrorism continue for a long time. No, accept your fault, first of all. You made a policy of talks and terror continuing all the time. Now you are questioning terror and invitations. I mean, Nawaz Sharif is not coming for... One second. Nawaz Sharif, Maroof, is Nawaz Sharif coming for talks? It's Arnab, at the most an invitation. Arnab, let's not be disingenuous. I'm sorry. Arnab, I'm sorry. Let's not be disingenuous. I know that a very famous anchor in this country, very famous TV anchor in this country, kept on bringing up one show after another, trying to damage the Congress party, trying to damage Mr. Manmohan Singh and our foreign policy whenever something would happen. And now the same anchor, the same famous anchor in India says that, oh, this is like a master stroke, or this is like, oh, these are not really talks, this is an invitation. I want to remind the viewers of Times Now. I'm sorry, let me finish. I want to remind
you're getting unnecessarily riled up.
That
you're getting unnecessiply riled up is all I can say.
I'm sorry.
Because you've been caught in a bind.
I will not accept duplicitous conversations.
Duplicitous? Who's being? You're being duplicitous. Your party is being duplicitous.
No, you people are being. Look, I mean, you and your, look.
No, why are you getting hurt? I mean, this was the biryani. You started biryani diplomacy.
I'm not.
And here, Nawaz Sharif is only being asked to attend the swearing in.
Look,
you tied yourself up in knots, I'm afraid, Salman. Let's get a response from the other side.
No, it is a good thing. It is a good thing that he's being invited and other SARC leaders are being invited. That's not bad. But what is bad is that during the election process, you have a lot of ill will created.
Ill will?
Rhetoric. And now people say, oh, this is a goodwill thing. Yes, ill will.
Ill will? Are you blaming your route to a news channel?
Against neighbors.
This is pathetic. I mean, this is how much will you sit now?
No, not against us.
No, you are using ill will, duplicity,
She said,
strong words.
Nirmala Sitharaman today, look,
you see, even
Arnab, today Nirmala Sitharaman said this
Salman,
is a
this is not looking good.
I asked BJP leaders, where was their goodwill when they were campaigning? There was all ill will. And now it's goodwill. I'm just saying that this is hypocrisy. But at the same time,
I'll let Chandan Mitra respond to that.
Mr. Sharif should come. I welcome. He should come and we should try and take our talks forward.
Yeah, no, but you heard what Manish Tiwari said. BJP should answer whether talks and invitations continue. You see, you're jumping the gun. You change your position. You do a U-turn. Then you realize that 10 years of foreign policy have been a failure. Opening up the debate with Chandan Mitra now. Chandan Mitra, Maroof Raza wants to come in, and so does GD Bakshi. No, 1 second. You had your say. We spent 10 minutes talking. Let's get the others in. 10 minutes. 10 minutes you've been talking. No, let the others in. Salman, please.
I'm just saying.
Salman, you died here. You painted yourself in a corner. It's all right. Now we'll get Chandan Mitra and we'll take it forward. Chandan Mitra.
Trying to say things. But
Chandan Mitra, please.
You're
Chandan Mitra, why? No, 1 second. Chandan Mitra, is this some kind of a U-turn? Is the BJP going soft on Pakistan suddenly because Modi has been chosen as the Prime Minister?
No, first of all, Arnab, clarify whether this debate is about Arnab Goswami or about Nawaz Sharif.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you.
Young Mr. Salman Soz should be clear in his mind that we are debating Nawaz Sharif and whether he can afford not to come to India.
Yeah.
And then Congress has tied itself up really in knots.
Yeah.
I appreciate what Salman is saying. That it's a good thing that Nawaz Sharif has been invited. And it's a good gesture on the part of the new government that's coming in. But I'm afraid his party's official spokesperson said just the opposite a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
And he says, the party is obviously, really, I think, is so badly shattered by the defeat.
You don't understand the context.
They've lost their moorings.
No, Mr. No, you don't understand the context, because you people are not willing to explain to the people of India the context for all of this discussion. It is nobody's case that Mr. Modi should not have the prerogative to invite anybody, and he's not invited all SARC leaders, not just Mr.
So what are you complaining about? What is Manish Tiwari cribbing about?
What's the
No, 1 second. Chandan Mitra is asking you a rebut. No, Chandan Mitra is asking you a rebut. Let him. No, let him ask you a rebut. Let him ask you a rebut. Chandan Mitra.
Why is your official spokesperson, the former INV minister, saying that this is wrong? It should not have been done. Why is he saying that?
I will tell you. No. I will tell you. No. He's saying, in fact, he also said that this is a prerogative of the new government, and that's fine. But what we are saying
not a question
is
of prerogative.
That during the election campaign,
but the point is whether
during the election campaign, please, Mr. Chandan Mitra. No, Mr. Chandan Mitra. The only question that I'm raising with you today is that when you govern, you try to look out for your national interests. And what your party did during the election campaign was just shouting out about, this is like Mr. Arnab Goswami said, we had a pro-Pakistan diplomacy.
Yeah.
Please, we have the national interest in mind.
Really?
We had the national interest in mind. Please, no. Yes, absolutely. And you have no idea what you mean by it. You are actually saying that the Congress party was anti-India. I object to that.
1 second.
I object to that. I object to your language, Arnab.
You can object to anything. Arnab. I don't have to be censored by you or approved by you.
Yes, I can.
In any case, politicians don't approve of me across the board. That's all right.
Stop calling others.
That's not the point.
Others anti-national.
I am not calling them anti-national. I'm saying there was a certain pro-Pakistan tilt in your foreign policy. What are you getting upset about? When Sarabjit was beaten up by inmates and killed that year, when Pakistan passed a resolution in the assembly,
pro-Pakistan is anti-national.
When our soldiers were beheaded,
pro-Pakistan is anti-national or not?
Well, you were soft. You were soft. Now you're telling me Manmohan Singh found his spine towards the end of his tenure. You were soft towards Pakistan.
Our army was responding. Our army was responding.
Army was responding is a weak argument.
Arnab,
Chandan Mitra. Now listen to Chandan Mitra. Open up to the others.
Just a very brief remark that after the beheading of the 2 Indian soldiers, our former Prime Minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh, said it can no longer be business as usual. And then, within a few days, did a somersault, and it was business as usual with Pakistan. And the talks and everything kept going on. So, in these circumstances, what Arnab, you have said, that Congress's policy was totally confusing. And Dr. Manmohan Singh aspired for the entire 10 years to try and kind of probably aspire for the Nobel Prize or something, that he was going to solve the India-Pakistan problem, visit Pakistan triumphantly, did not happen. But whereas the BJP has always been very clear, keep national interest first and talk from a position of strength. and we have done that, and we will continue to do that.
We
not
saw
as
that
long
during the India rule.
guns are pointed at our heads.
We saw that under your rule.
Guns are pointed at our head.
No,
We
saw that under your rule.
Mr. Modi told you. Arnab, Mr. Modi told you in that interview that talks and terror cannot go hand in hand. Okay, and talks and terror will not go hand in hand. This is a different occasion. This is a ceremonial occasion. And therefore, it is only right that if all SAARC countries' heads are being invited, Pakistan cannot be left out. That would be an aggressive gesture on India's part.
Besides, I'd like to. I'd like to understand what is there a tinge of bitterness that I sense? Because after all, it has been the fable. No, Salman, don't get upset. This is my analysis.
Hypocrisy when we see it.
I don't need to get my point of view approved by you.
When we see hypocrisy, we should call it out.
That's all right. I'm not saying
hypocrisy out. That's
one second. 1 minute. 1 minute.
I have so many shows of you.
Salman, listen to me. No, Salman, listen to me. Listen to me. You are using strong words today, and I want to make a statement to you. I will not respond to words such as duplicity, hypocrisy, etc., etc. Because Salman, over the years, I have discovered that you need to have a very thick hide when you come to criticism like this. So I have been unmoved, and I will continue to be unmoved by this vituperative verbal attack from your side. However, I will continue with my line of questioning.
You can call Manmohan Singh's foreign policy pro-Pakistan and you should keep quiet?
Yeah, because he had to be provoked into realizing that he needs to act against Pakistan for the majority of his tenure.
You think your viewers are going to basically say, yeah, this is...
You ask anyone how effective were we vis-a-vis Pakistan, and you'll get the answer.
Arnab.
Okay, Maroof, Raza, and our viewers are intelligent enough.
There's a way to say things, Arnab, then.
Fine, what do you want me to say? I refuse to phrase my words. I refuse to phrase my words vis-a-vis anyone, present or past prime ministers, in an obsequious manner. It's all right. Prime Minister is not God, yeah? It's all right. It's okay. I'm talking about a politician who is the leader of the country. I have a right to criticize a former leader of the country. That's all right, please. Manmohan Singh should realize that he will be criticized, and then he can say history will judge me better, but that's all right. That's his position. Let someone judge him better. Tonight we are talking on a very pragmatic level. The question is that, Maroof, why is the Congress party getting so shaken? Maroof and General Bakshi, why is the Congress party getting so shaken with an invitation to a swearing in? I mean, it's not even any formal talks.
Yeah.
Arnab, let me come in. There are lots of interesting points that have been raised, but quickly I'll just run through because of time. One is the job of the opposition to oppose. So anything the ruling party will do, you will get negative responses from the opposition. But before I go into what Mr. Sosa's position is, let me just say that when you invite somebody for a ceremonial occasion, it's not for talks.
Yeah.
Prime Minister Jilani of Pakistan visited India for a cricket match. President Zardari visited India for ziyarat. They were also entertained, and nothing came out of those talks. Quite frankly, Mr. Nawaz Sharif has made one of his election promises of better relations with India. So I think if Mr. Nawaz Sharif wants to move forward, this is a bit of a hint to him that Mr. Modi is willing to move forward, also provided terror is abandoned as an instrument of foreign policy, and these are the words of Mr. Manmohan Singh, not Mr. Modi itself. And therefore, Mr. Manmohan Singh having said, then when terror was used as an instrument of policy, and then went and did Sharm el-Sheikh, and then went and started talks with Pakistan, I think there was certain confusion that emerged from Congress's foreign policy, and no amount of defense can defend that.
What
I'm saying at this point of time,
I
think it's in Pakistan's interest to try and move forward with India, because the window for Pakistan to extract any concession with India is closing slowly. So if Pakistan doesn't wish to take this forward, Nawaz Sharif will prove to the world that he is held hostage by his namesake, the army chief. Nawaz Sharif will prove to the world that he really doesn't want good relations with India. And as far as India is concerned, I think Mr. Modi will also prove to the world that not only is he not going to carry the baggage of the past, but more importantly, he will not be held hostage to regional parties and regional parties, which Mr. Manmohan Singh, whatever the defense for Mr. Manmohan Singh was, perhaps he didn't have a free hand to oppose the higher leadership in Congress. But quite frankly, the message went out to the world that India has a mixed bag foreign policy and India is not worth talking to. Let us see now if the world sees us differently. I think that's the message that must come out.
Many people say that Manmohan Singh, General Bakshi, coming to you. My simple question is, why is the Congress, in your view, General Bakshi, can you hear me? Why, in your view, is the Congress why is the Congress getting so hassled? Is it because Modi has pulled the rug from under the Congress party's feet by asking Sharif to come? Because this is what Manmohan Singh wanted all this while, and the buzz is that Manmohan Singh really wanted to get a Nobel Prize. And the one way for him to get a Nobel Prize was getting some kind of a high-level meeting organized in which Nawaz Sharif would come. I'm just being very direct about it. Why? What explains the level of irritation today in the Congress party at what is an offer for Nawaz Sharif to attend the swearing-in?
You know, Arnab, there are two aspects to it that merit consideration today. One is from the optics and ceremonials point of view. I think it is a good idea to get all the SAARC heads of state to Delhi and, you know, have that show of solidarity at the SAARC level, especially good friends like President Hamid Karzai, Mr. Koirala of Nepal, etc., etc.
Yeah.
However, there is a flip side to it. You know, the flip side is that Pakistan, unfortunately, Mr. Nawaz Sharif is not in control as far as security policies are concerned, policies towards India are concerned. He is a facade put up by the deep state, headed by the Pakistan Army and the ISI complex, which call the shots. I have an apprehension. The entire optics can go awry if on 26th of May, the ISI-sponsored Tanzeems stage a terrorist strike, not in Delhi because it will be very heavily guarded, but somewhere in India and kill a couple of few Indians. What if the Pakistan Army battalions, absolutely out of control of Nawaz Sharif, open fire on the line of control on that very day?
So what is your suggestion, sir?
Cause casualties.
Maroof? No, what is the suggestion?
My suggestion is that the suggestion is we could have been a little circumspect on this issue. The government is still getting its briefing. It is still to find its phase,
No, but how do you invite the Prime Minister of Bangladesh, you invite the... No, watch it, Maroof. Maroof, this is...
I disagree.
Yes.
I disagree.
No, a theory being put through that this is going to bounce back on you in a negative manner.
I also disagree.
Chandan Mitra disagrees. Maroof Raza disagrees. I'll let Maroof go first.
Arnab, just a quick point. Arnab, just a quick point.
With you.
The ISI and the intelligence agencies of Pakistan can spoil Mr. Modi's swearing in party with or without Nawaz Sharif. The point to understand is that this is a litmus test of Nawaz Sharif's ability to grow out of the shadow of the deep state. And if Nawaz Sharif cannot, then the message to India is there's no point trying to talk to a guy who's not in control.
General Bakshi, you heard that. Chandan Mitra also responding to you.
Isn't that evident already? Isn't that evident already? What confirmation do you need? I'm sorry.
Not entirely, sir. Not entirely, sir. Not entirely, sir.
It is quite self-evident.
No,
absolutely.
sir. He superseded. Sir, if he was that weak,
General
Bakshi, sir, if he was that weak, sir, Kargil apart, if Nawaz Sharif was so weak, he would not have superseded two senior officers and put his namesake there as army chief. So he has some control. He has some mandate, but maybe he's not entirely in control.
No, sir, but if there is to be, General Bakshi, any progress, it can only happen, with an elected government. You can't expect any government of India to be talking to a bunch of generals from Rawalpindi, who you describe as the deep state. And by the way, this is the time for
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Why?
All I was saying was that your timing could have been chosen better. We should have
but he's only coming.
Whether he has delivered
General Bakshi,
on the 42
General Bakshi,
camps, whether he has
General
Bakshi, 26/11.
No, General Bakshi. Okay, Chandan Mitra is coming. General Bakshi, my only question to you is, General Bakshi, a man who cannot even get the army's permission to come for a swearing-in ceremony. What can he do tomorrow in real talks? If he can't, this is the test. If Nawaz Sharif can't come, there's no point engaging with him anymore.
My point is, if you have him here with you on your hands, when this kind of an incident happens, I'm afraid the embarrassment to us will be very huge.
Well, what about the embarrassment that could have happened when they were called for biryani diplomacy after beheading our soldiers? Chandan Mitra responding. Chandan Mitra. Chandan Mitra is responding to Bakshi. And by the way, we're getting a Pakistan guest lined up in 2 minutes.
I am baffled by General Bakshi's logic, because he seems to be suggesting that we have to wait eternally till Mr. Nawaz Sharif actually assumes real control of Pakistan. I'm afraid that may take decades. So we we say that we can't talk to him, we can't invite him, we can't talk to any government in Pakistan. Doesn't matter even if it is election.
Yes. No, then no.
No, what's it?
In all honesty, let us then concede that what we said in the campaign speeches was not sincere.
No, I don't.
Bakshi, sir.
No, 1 second. You're pushing the line, sir.
Bakshi, sir, with respect, this is not about talks. This is not about talks.
A simple swearing
in. This is to check his intention. This is to check his intent and check his capability to surpass the shadow of the deep state. If he can't do that, then your long-term agenda needs to be doctored accordingly.
Precisely. Now completely out of the debate, but trying to come back, Salman Soos. Salman, understand this, because before you start into another round of judgment, the fact remains, please be objective about this, Salman. The fact remains this could well end up being a diplomatic coup for Modi if Sharif accepts the invitation. Because you will recall that Manmohan Singh had invited Nawaz Sharif to come to India at a mutually convenient time after Sharif became Prime Minister in May last year. Subsequently, his advisor Sartaj Aziz and Salman Khurshid have had talks, and Salman Khurshid was hoping that he will manage that summit level meeting to put Manmohan Singh in the reckoning for what he really wanted, which is a Nobel Prize. But Salman Khurshid could not deliver that trophy. Salman Soos could not deliver that trophy for Manmohan Singh, leading to a lot of bitterness at the end of Manmohan Singh's tenure that he could not even achieve that. I'm not talking of the economy, corruption, etc., but even on Pakistan, he ended up being an abject failure. So Salman, I'm just analyzing the situation objectively for you to give you a bird's eye view, of what could be the reason for the bitterness that the Congress party is displaying today on this subject. Don't take it personally, Salman.
No, I'm not.
Don't take it personally, Salman.
No, I don't take it. I'm not taking anything personally, not saying anything against me, but I do kind of wonder about how you speculate about a very decent man, Mr. Manmohan Singh, who was our Prime Minister.
Did I say? No, I didn't question his decency.
That all he did
I questioned his aspiration for a Nobel Prize with candy floss diplomacy, if you may.
It's
not about decency. This is about national interest.
Ascribing certain motivations.
No, not at all.
For the Prime Minister.
No, there's no motivation. I'm just saying there was an aspiration for a Nobel Prize. Is there something wrong to have an aspiration for a Nobel Prize?
And that was his... No, I'm just saying that, and now, let's forget, after being hypercritical about one Prime Minister, now you're kind of singing praises about wins of
I'm saying this is a litmus test.
Even before anything has happened.
No, I'm saying this is a litmus test of whether or not Nawaz Sharif is worth investing any time or effort in.
Arnab, for your viewers, I'm just drawing a contrast for your viewers. But having said that,
no, why are you getting riled up when we are talking?
I'm not getting...
Rashid Qureshi, welcome from Islamabad.
I'm just giving your viewers...
Rashid Qureshi, General Rashid Qureshi, good evening and welcome.
The contrast here.
General Rashid Qureshi, good evening and welcome. Good evening. Now, Maroof says something, and we are still expecting Brigadier Javed Hussain from Karachi, Zafar Hilaly from Karachi in a minute. Rashid Qureshi, I want you to answer Maroof, Raza. Maroof makes an observation. And he says, and Maroof, correct me if I'm wrong, and Chandan Mitra, of the senior BJP leader, also on our panel today. So I'm glad we're having some open conversation tonight. Now, there's this whole topic about the deep state. The real people who control Pakistan, which is certainly not your political establishment, but I don't want to get into that argument. The question here is, Maroof says that if Nawaz Sharif cannot even shrug aside the ISI to come for a swearing-in ceremony, then it proves what we always suspect. It simply proves that there is no point investing in trying to build a relationship with a political leader who lacks any support base. A real support base, I mean. Real power.
Can I answer that?
Yes, General Qureshi.
Okay. In my opinion, now what one must understand that I shall be giving my opinion here.
Yeah.
I think from the Indian side, it was a good gesture and move to invite Nawaz Sharif for the swearing-in ceremony.
Right.
And I think Pakistan needs to respond.
Yeah, hear
And
that.
I have a feeling that Nawaz Sharif will attend. That's just my assessment or my feeling. I have heard today what the Foreign Office has said, and frankly, I'm not aware of what reasons they have for saying what they've said. In my opinion, I think, whether you believe it or not, frankly, Pakistan has been trying to have good or better relations with India for a long time. And I'm talking about, I'll take you back to Pervez Musharraf's time. There's a realization, I think, in both countries that it is time that India and Pakistan developed a relationship as good neighbors. We've had a history. It's been bitter. But I think it's time, and I think the government must feel that it's time for India and Pakistan to realign themselves.
Yeah.
all
Having
that
closer
fine, but
relations
General,
with
why
each
is it
other.
taking so long?
Yeah, Chandan Mitra, what brings the discussion back with a straight question to our guest in Islamabad, Chandan Mitra, senior BJP leader, member of parliament, throwing a question at you, General Qureshi. Yes, Chandan Mitra.
How long does it take to decide whether the Pakistan Prime Minister will take a 1 hour long flight, come to India, attend the ceremonial function, have a cup of tea and go back?
Yeah.
No, it's such a, when you look at it from outside, it's such a simple matter. How many people does your Prime Minister have to consult before he can take a decision?
2 people, the army chief and the ISI chief. Yeah, anyway.
Sir,
Right?
I don't think what you're speculating is the reason why there's a delay. I think, in my opinion, that the government of Pakistan takes into account whatever reputation Mr. Modi has had in the past.
What are you
where
saying?
There's been bitterness. Now, however,
No.
India
I
has
think it's
selected and chosen their prime minister. It is India's responsibility, and it is entirely your choice. But Pakistan, as a neighbor, needs to develop relations with India, whoever the prime minister may be. And I
Precisely,
think
that is the
that
point.
choice should be left to
No,
the
so a
Indians.
very big admission tonight
should
that
be
some
left to the
political
Indians.
factors are coming into the play. I think Rashid Qureshi is revealing something.
That's
It's a
right.
very big admission. I thank Rashid Qureshi for his candor and his honesty, because he's saying that the Prime Minister of Pakistan is coming under pressure from political forces. May I ask you, General Qureshi, who are these political forces? Kindly enlighten us.
I haven't said that.
I hope
You
it
see,
is not that terrorist, from the Lashkar-e-Toiba.
If you if you really want to put words in my mouth, then
No,
I guess
I mean,
what you're doing
I'm
is the right
understanding what
thing.
you're saying.
I have not said that the Prime Minister of Pakistan has come under
No, 1
political
second. General Qureshi, Maroof wants to put some perspective in. 1 second, Maroof.
Sure.
General Sir, please, I've heard you out. I think you've made some very good points, and there's very positive stuff coming out from you. But let me put in 2 or 3 other issues. I was reading a very interesting piece today in the Indian Express by Khalid Ahmed, who I respect greatly. I think he's one of the most sensible commentators from Pakistan. And he's made 3 very interesting points. One is, the army apart, there is a strong political constituency in Pakistan which thrives on anti-Indian rhetoric or whatever it is. Your interior minister being on the forefront as one of the names that is being mentioned. The second is your media tends to echo some of the negativism that has come out of the Indian media, and therefore they have built this demon of Mr. Modi in their mind based on some information they've got from here, and they are basically prodding your political establishment not to go forward in any relationship with India. And finally, and most importantly, those people that we want in India, whether it's Hafiz Saeed or Dawood Ibrahim or whoever, who are internationally sought after,
yes,
they are walking around freely in Pakistan. This is obviously something which is a matter of great a concern to us and embarrassment to your establishment. But I think the bottom line is that if Mr. Nawaz Sharif can ride over all that for the time being and come to India, I think he is a historic opportunity to move the relationship forward on the lines that you're talking about, But if he is held victim and suppressed by the military establishment, of which you are also a part of, and you know how the ball rolls out there, then I'm sorry, then Mr. Nawaz Sharif's tenure will be based on more promises about goodwill with India, but nothing on ground.
Hear that. Now, Rashid Qureshi will respond to that, but I also welcome Zafar Hilaly. I also welcome Brigadier Javed Hussain from Karachi. You see, this is a very interesting situation, Zafar Hilaly, right? Because this is the least...
If I can put in a rider here...
Yeah, Chandan Mitra of the BJP adding in, yes. Chandan Mitra.
Yeah, I mean, I want to ask all my Pakistani friends that do they realize that in the event that after keeping India waiting for more than 24 hours, if Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif turns down... if he does not come...
Huge loss of opportunity.
What a wrong foot.
What a wrong foot that will be.
Relations. Will it be under the new NDA government? 5 years. Mr. Modi is here to stay for at least 5 years. and how will relations go forward? I mean, it starts on...
I think the guests from Pakistan have realized they can't afford to do that. Salman, I want to go to Karachi. I think our guests from Pakistan have realized.
Yeah, but very briefly, I know Mr. Chandan Mitra, I'm sorry, I don't get, today there's a satellite problem, I think, but I don't get everything. But Mr. Chandan Mitra seems to be almost pleading with Pakistan to send Mr. Nawaz Sharif.
Sorry.
He's not pleading.
I'm sure they're looking at it. I mean, it seems very awkward right now.
This is what I call, don't carp here, Salman. Please, we have guests from Pakistan on the program. The question here is very simple. Question here is very simple. That I think Mr. Zafar Hilaly and Brigadier Javed Hussain look flummoxed. And this question comes to you, Zafar Hilaly and Javed Hussain. Understand this, sirs, that none other than Narendra Modi has himself said, and he said that in an interview to me, that talks and terror cannot continue. He said talks with Pakistan cannot continue among gunshots and bomb blasts, but he has still extended an invitation to the Pakistan Prime Minister. Many people in India believe that is an unexpected sign of magnanimity from the Indian government towards the Pakistani establishment because there have been ceasefire violations. In fact, I may remind you that in 2014 alone, there have been so many violations, 2 of them after the Indian elections. On the 19th of May, an Indian Army Jawan died in one of these. There's a backdrop in which this invitation has come. And Chandan Mitra says Zafar Hilaly seize that moment. And if you don't seize this moment, if after keeping India waiting, if you say, no, we are not coming, that's going to be starting off the relationship on a wrong foot for the next 5 years. Our guest from Karachi may please respond. Now, please.
Well, quite frankly, it doesn't... I don't know.
Go ahead, we can hear you loud and clear, Mr. Hilaly.
Yes, well, if you can hear me, here goes. Frankly, it doesn't really matter whether he comes or not, because ultimately the two countries have to do business with each other. The two leaders have to meet and talk. And if they never meet and talk, that's not going to happen. They have to meet and talk.
That's
and
the point Chandan Mitra is making to you.
Whether they meet later, it's not really important. What is important, however, and you've got to understand this, and I think the people of India needs to know this, that the kind of reputation that Modi has acquired, Modi is regarded as an ogre. He has a horrible reputation.
This is where you are
and
going wrong.
You want,
this is where you go wrong. This is where you go wrong. This is where you go wrong, Zafar Hilaly. This is where you go wrong. One second, Chandan Mitra is...
Arnab,
yeah.
He's a democratically elected
Prime Minister.
It is none
Absolutely he is.
He's none of your business.
Absolutely.
And call him name.
In the most...
I can't hear.
No. Now, of course, you can't hear, but please be careful
now it's
in
very
using the
convenient
words
for
to
you not to
describe the
hear.
Prime Minister of India.
But it is none of your business, and you have no business making these kind of remarks against our democratically elected Prime Minister.
Precisely. And if that is the case, then you don't respect democracy. And within that democratic...
Which we all know you don't.
Well, I think either Mr. Hilaly is not hearing or he's choosing not to hear. One second. Brigadier Javed Hussain, the question goes back to you. Here is a great opportunity to start afresh. Can you hear me, Brigadier Hussain? Here is a great opportunity to start afresh. And Modi is reaching out by sending that invitation, despite all the hostility thrown by you at India over the last many years. Seize the opportunity or lose it forever, says Maroof Raza.
Even now.
And seize it now. Seize it now, Brigadier Hussain.
Now I can't hear him.
I don't think Brigadier Hussain can hear. Okay, we'll try and reconnect, but I'm sure Rashid Qureshi, you heard that. Seize the opportunity. All our guests are virtually saying that to the Pakistanis. Seize the opportunity and seize it now, because it may not come back again.
And otherwise, don't keep blaming India for not reaching out.
Yeah, after this, you can't blame India for not reaching out.
No. In my opinion, I think India, if I was to put myself in the Indian shoes, I would again support Mr. Modi for having invited Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif to India, frankly. And now putting myself back into Pakistani shoes, I'm telling you, in my opinion, I think Mr. Nawaz Sharif is likely to go to India. I cannot obviously state with authority because I am not part of the government and I have no special information on this, but I think that he will. And what Mr. Hilaly said, that India and Pakistan are neighbors. We cannot deny that.
That's not what Mr. Hilaly said.
We have to have good relations.
That's not what Mr. Hilaly said,
in
by
my
the way.
opinion.
That's not what Mr. Hilaly said.
What he said was...
What we are asking you is your Prime Minister, does your Prime Minister have the ability, the spine and the independence to take a decision on his own? You can't cover it up, Rashid Qureshi, by questioning Narendra Modi at a personal level. You can't do that. You can say...
I am not covering up anything.
You can say, Maroof, will it be better? No, watch it.
You listen less and speak more, so you don't understand what I'm saying.
Arnab, I want to draw General Qureshi.
Yes, Maroof.
General Saab.
Yes, Maroof.
I just want to draw your attention.
Yes.
I just want to draw your attention to what the international community's response has been to Mr. Narendra Modi. Whatever their earlier apprehensions, whether it was Britain, United States, European Union and a whole lot of other countries who are the patron saints of democratic conduct in the world, they've all gone and extended a hand of friendship and the need for talks with Mr. Modi and the Indian government under Mr. Modi and lifted the visa ban that was on him earlier. So I think Pakistan can take a cue from that. And more importantly, I think we must understand that there needn't be continuity in the diplomatic policy of one government to the other. Here is an opportunity for Mr. Nawaz Sharif to lay out his cards on the table and Mr. Modi to lay out his cards on the table. And if they can turn the corner, I think history is going to applaud them. If he can't come here, he will live to regret it diplomatically that this was an opportunity that he let pass.
And this has happened at a time, it's happened at an interesting time, Rashid Qureshi, I'll tell you. This had happened at a time when just this month, I think 2 Indian journalists were expelled from Pakistan without offering an explanation as to what was done. This has happened at a time when our Jawan has been killed. This has happened in the backdrop of beheadings. This has happened in the backdrop of so much hostility and ceasefire violations. So Chandan, Mitra, would you just explain the importance of the context in which this is happening? I mean, you are a politician. I think you can enlighten our friend in Pakistan about the political context of Narendra Modi choosing to invite Nawaz Sharif when he may know that there may be certain people within the Sangh perhaps who may raise eyebrows over this decision, which is why these kind of opportunities may not keep recurring in the future.
Well, you see, the problem is that unlike Mr. Nawaz Sharif, Mr. Narendra Modi is his own master. He can take decisions. He does not have to look behind his shoulders all the time and consult people and take their permission to make a gesture. I'm afraid of Pakistani, not only just the establishment, but even those around the establishment don't seem to understand this.
Well, Mr. Hilaly can hear you now, so you can respond to what he said earlier about Mr. Modi. Should you want to? Because I think we lost the line with them in between.
No, yes, I mean, what do I
Mr.
say?
Hilaly, here Chandan Mitra.
Very well. I mean, they're insulting our Prime Minister, by calling him names. I mean, I think this is the most shameful kind of behavior I've seen from neighbors, and then you say, let's be good neighbors, let's be good neighbors. You abuse, you use this kind of derogatory terms for Prime Minister elected with a massive mandate, and you say, sorry, we can't forgive, he's an ogre. I mean, come on, and you expect us to do business, and you expect and you keep chanting, India must be magnanimous, India has to show goodwill, you give us this, give us that, give us water, give us various other things, and then you say your Prime Minister is so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so. I mean, is this any way to go about business? It is clear that you have painted yourself into a corner. You never expected Mr. Modi to win, and now that he has this massive mandate, you don't know where to look. And then, on top of it, he makes such a magnanimous and grand gesture to Pakistan, and Mr. Nawaz Sharif keeps him waiting. Whereas, just see the difference how Mr. Vajpayee responded when Nawaz Sharif invited him in his earlier term to go to Lahore. I mean, I really, I'm really beginning to lose hope that whether Pakistan ever wants good relations with India.
Yeah, Brigadier Hussain, if you don't want to have talks with India, I think you should make it very clear now. Because frankly, there is a growing view in India that India should not waste time talking to Pakistan anymore or indulging Pakistan anymore in this. I think it may be better to have a frank conversation on the subject and say we are not interested, or alternatively, our generals are not allowing us to. Brigadier Hussain, that candor will be much appreciated by a lot of people in our country, including maybe the new government.
Well, if you recall, the first step was taken by Nawaz Sharif when he called Modi and extended an invitation to him to visit Pakistan. That invitation still stands.
That is for talks.
No response has been received as yet. Second point.
Don't mix up the two. Don't mix up the two things.
It is because of, I'm not mixing up, you try and understand. The simplest thing is the most difficult thing for you to understand. The second point is that the people of Pakistan, they consider Modi to be a Muslim hater. He is referred to as the butcher of Gujarat. The third point is,
I say that is none of
your stand on Kashmir.
That is not true, and it's not.
Hold on.
No, let us be very clear, Brigadier Javed Hussain. You know, Mr. Modi has been cleared by all the courts, so A, and B, he has won a resounding victory in these elections. And by the way, Mr. Javed Hussain,
what about the butchers of Bombay?
Why doesn't Pakistan mind its own business beyond a point? You know, Nawaz Sharif congratulates Narendra Modi.
Won a victory or not?
Arnab, what about the butchers of 9/11 who are moving around?
No, Mr. Hilaly.
Sorry.
Mr. Hilaly.
Moving around in freely
Mr. Hilaly, you can admit tonight. You can say so tonight on Indian television. I think the people of Pakistan will not castigate you for your honesty, Mr. Hilaly and Brigadier Hussain. If you come on air on an Indian channel and you say tonight that our Prime Minister is a puppet Prime Minister. Our Prime Minister is a puppet Prime Minister. Why don't you say that?
Of being an ogre.
You have a puppet Prime Minister, you say that.
Deny that.
You cannot allow these people
Because
to
if he
come
is
here
not-
on your channel and insult our Prime Minister.
Absolutely
and
Not
use such
allow.
foul
Who the
language,
hell are
filthy
you
terms.
to decide
Filthy
what
terms.
to allow or not? You're not in Pakistan. You're not in India. You're not in Pakistan. What the?
Mr.
No, but
Hilaly,
you have no business. I mean, if I were to abuse some of your revered leaders, you won't like it. You won't like it. And many of them are not even elected.
Who's elected? What's this?
well, there is a democracy in India. It may be unnatural for you to hear about elected leaders, but I want you to hear Maroof.
There's a hell of a democracy in Pakistan, a very
Really?
robust one.
Well, I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is. And where have you imported the model
So what
from?
are you complaining about?
No, where have you imported this model of democracy from? It doesn't even give your Prime Minister the right to take a plane ticket and fly down to Delhi without the army's permission. Maroof, Raza, I think we need to put things in perspective out here.
My Prime Minister is indeed,
Arnab,
he is indeed confused because he wants to know that after the reputation that your Prime Minister has as a Muslim hater,
well, you know,
whether he should jump at his
I think Maroof,
invitation
I
and
think
come and shake the hands
the
of a man
the majority,
who is regarded
the
as
majority,
a persecutor of Muslims. And I'm putting
one
that
second,
in mind.
Mr. Hilaly, Mr. Hilaly, I'm telling you this.
And share a platform. I'm not prepared to share a platform.
I think this shows.
I really am not. I mean, this is absolutely unacceptable.
No. First of all,
these kind of terms.
First of all, Mr. Hilaly,
shameless.
Yeah, Mr. Hilaly, please, we are having a serious conversation. The issue is here whether Pakistan will respond or be restrained by the ISI, or be Maroof restrained by the army, or be restrained by groups like the Jamaat-e-Islami. And this is an opportunity for you to break away from that and say we do not want to remain a medieval country.
Country which has no tolerance for other religions, where Hindu temples are being destroyed every day, where blasphemy act is being invoked against Christians, and where hundreds of Hindus are being killed and their girls raped. That
Mr. Hilaly, listen.
They have a right talk about communal harmony.
Well, Maroof.
Shame.
Maroof.
Arnab, let me please make 2 or 3 quick points. One is Mr. Hilaly's point is that Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif is confused. If he is confused, my suggestion would be for him to do exactly what he did when the Kargil conflict went out of his hand, and 4th of July 1998, he visited Bill Clinton for advice and he got rapped on his knuckles. This time he might like to pick up the phone and ask Mr. Obama, should I do business with Mr. Modi or not? And I think he'll get some sage advice from Washington, which at least until yesterday was Pakistan's patron saint. The second point that I want to make to my friends in Pakistan is that please don't, sir, please let me complete. Pakistan should stop trying to be, sir, please let me finish. Pakistan, sir, Mr. Mitra, sir, please let me finish. Pakistan should stop trying to patronize the Muslims of India. The Muslims of India are capable of deciding who their Prime Minister will be and not. We don't need Pakistan, a country which cannot tolerate other Muslim minorities, forget Hindus and others who can't tolerate Shias on their own land. What are they going to do for the Muslims of India?
An agreement with us. It's called the Nehru Pact, in which it was laid down that the concern of the welfare of the minorities in each country
should I take you back in history? Should I take you back in history and remind you?
And express a view on. Now, for God's sake, we are not patronizing anybody.
Sir, you can
just
only say, remind you the shortcomings of your founder, who never practiced Islam.
Prime Minister.
And what are you trying to tell us?
To hear it? What can I do?
Sir, seize the opportunity. Rise above your army. Control your ISI and convince your right-wing Islamic forces that we need to move on and move with the rest of the world and with the great powers like India.
One channel. What are you talking about? Rising above Islamic
forces? Sir, you can't remain in that time warp. Modi has invited you, take the invitation and move on. Let's see if it happens.
Arnab.
Yes, Brigadier Hussain, seize the opportunity. Seize it. Seize it. It may not come again.
Yeah, Arnab.
Yes, Brigadier Hussain, I can hear you.
Yeah. The subcontinent is starved for statesmanship. I feel sorry for India with 1.4 billion or 1.3 billion people. They couldn't find a better person than Modi.
Well, that is, Brigadier Hussain.
Hardly a statesman.
That's our lookout.
I will not let you use. I will not let you use.
Arnab, you cannot.
I will not allow that.
You cannot allow Pakistanis.
I will not allow
Pakistanis.
Let me say this.
Our leader.
I think it is even the Congress. It is the greatness of our democracy that we choose our leaders peacefully across the entire country. There is a mandate and there is something called a real election. Brigadier Hussain, the day Pakistan graduates to that level, with or without our help, let's take this discussion forward.
He threatens
Till then, you can't lecture us. Till then, you decide whether you get the army's
raid.
Narendra Modi is the elected Prime Minister of the people of India.
And as
That's
Maroof
it.
rightly
No
pointed
more
out,
LOC violation.
And we
Indian
don't
Muslims
denigrate that office. Don't denigrate that office.
Arnab, completely.
Don't denigrate that office.
Can I say a word? Arnab, can I say a word?
Language.
I think this discussion when moved forward after Nawaz Sharif decides.
Why hasn't he accepted Nawaz Sharif's invitation to visit Pakistan?
Well, let us. Well, he was invited for talks. He was invited for talks. We have invited Nawaz Sharif for a simple courtesy of being there at a swearing in.
You will not. You don't want normalization of relations.
Well, this is your test. This is your test
People
tonight.
of Pakistan do not want Nawaz to attend the swearing.
Well, then let's see. If your government does not have the confidence to, we'll know by tomorrow. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining me on debate number 1 on the News Hour tonight.